Welcome to the practice, and our practice today starts on the back. If you find that you need some support for the back of the head, adjust the back of the head, adjust the neck position. Set your feet hip distance. Let's have our knees bent to get the neutral spine here. And when you're ready, let us lift the right leg up and just to warm up your ankles with a circular movement, flexing and pointing the toes. Make sure you change in directions as well. And then bend the knee a couple of times just to feel the range of flexion, right? So some knees might have a little bit less range here. And then let's change and go the same movement with the other leg. So taking the left leg up and go ankle circles a couple of times. One direction and the other direction. Point and flex. When you flex, you feel some stretch on the calf. When you point, you feel some stretch on the shin. And then go for a couple of knee bends. Then let us extend the left leg and bend the right knee, interlace the hands on the top of the right knee, and just find your flexion of the hip. Bring the knee as high as possible. Feel a little bit of a stretch in the calf and the glute, and then open the knee and just allow yourself to move the knee in a circular movement. Any range here, maybe feeling a little bit of a kind of a twist. Go maybe 3 times with the knee one direction and then go with the other direction. So notice where you feel sensations when you move, and we'll change. So let's extend the right leg and bend the left knee. Interlace the hands on the top of the left knee. First, compress the thigh. Feel a bit of a stretch. And then go into the circular movements. Also go one direction and then change to the other direction. So a bit of a lubricating of the hip joint before we move. And then now let us set the feet into a bridge position. That means they're hip distance, feet are parallel to each other. Bring your arms on the sides of the hips. And let's just lift the hips into the bridge, but go into the neutral bridge. So try not to go too much into extension. And here, as you're holding, think of pressing the knees away, engaging the glutes, and then come down, exhale. Let's do it again. Lift, press the hips away, squeeze the glutes. So activation of the posterior chain of the lower body, and come down. And let's go one more time. Lift. As you lift and think of pressing the knees away. Make sure you feel your glutes more than your hamstrings, and come all the way down. So now we're going to invite the hamstring to work. So as you're lifting your hips into the bridge, let's start sliding the feet away. So away, you can walk, or I'm just sliding my toes and taking the heels away from the hips without dropping the hips. So now you feel more of your hamstring here. Stop where you feel that's it, your hamstring can't take it anymore, and then drop the hips down. Let's again bring the heels closer like a bridge so the shins are perpendicular to the floor. Then lift the hips. Feel how here the glutes are working more, and then start sliding your feet away from the body, from the hips and shoulder blades, till you're finding that okay, hamstrings are turning in, and you feel like they start like a burning effect. So they're working here, and then drop the hips down one more time. Bring the heels closer, and then lift the hips up. Find here, I want you to feel the difference, depending on the distance of the heels, how glutes work and how hamstrings start working when you're sliding away, engaging the glutes and hamstrings together, but hamstrings are turning more if you're taking heels far away, and then bring the hips down to the floor. Let's bring both knees to the chest, hug them, rock from side to side, and then when you're ready, start rocking from the head to the hips, and let's come into the tabletop position. So take your time to come into the tabletop position. And you definitely should feel engagement of the hamstrings and glutes, especially hamstrings right now. And in the tabletop position, we'll bring the knees together and extend the right leg, lifting the right leg off the floor. Flex the foot and make sure that you feel how the whole right leg is working here. Engaging the abdomen here to maintain neutral spine. When you're ready, take your left hand parallel to the floor. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's release. Extend the left leg, flex the foot. When you're ready, lift the leg and lift the arm and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's release. So having a bit of an awareness of the front of the body, let's pull the belly in and round the spine into the cat stretch, tucking the tailbone under, maybe moving the head a little bit from side to side, releasing some tension on the back of the neck. And then very slowly, let's come into the dog stretch, lifting the chin slightly up, but not compressing the back of the neck. And let's exhale round the spine. So from here, I'm allowing you to go on your own pace, adding a couple of more movements here, connecting them to the breath. And finishing the last one. Let's bring the knees closer to the midline and step the right foot forward into the 90-90 lunge, maintaining neutral spine, taking the arms into cactus pose and press them back as much as you can. Make sure your elbows are not collapsing. Here, press them maybe a couple of times, open the shoulders. And then let's rotate to the right, also go maybe the pulses here, just warming up the spine for rotation, and then return back to the center. Release the hands and then move the hips forward. So because we were in 90, you're finding right now that you're compressing the ankle. You might feel a lot of a stretch in the calf, and again, here is the knee flexion, your maximum knee flexion. If you're not comfortable to reach to the floor, you always can use the blocks here. And you staying into maximum flexion of the ankle without lifting the heel up. So pressing here for another breath. You don't feel much stretch on the left hip in this position of the front leg. Then release the knee and hold the ankle and step forward a little bit more. Now getting your shin 90 degree And as you press, now you're increasing the stretch in the left hip. If you don't feel it, you can tug the toes, lift the knee, left knee, and then drop it back, and hopefully feel more opening here. For the next one, yes, you might want to have a blocks. We're gonna send the hips back and flex the right foot. In this position, we want to maintain hips aligned, and it feels like you're pulling the right hip into the hip socket. Maintaining straight spine, so don't drop the head. If you have a very tight hamstrings, you might want to have blocks even higher. And then exhale, return back into the lunge. I'm showing that with a block, so my hands are on the blocks. Tuck the left toes and lift the left knee off the floor. If you need to adjust it a little bit to feel that you are really stable here, and then bring the tip of the fingers on the block, lift the torso up, then maybe bring the hands on the thigh, readjust the torso to be away from the thigh, and take the arms on the sides of the hips. Hold 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's drop the knees down, bring the right knee together, send the hips back. Also here I am using my blocks. I'm keeping my hands on the blocks and dropping the chest down, feeling a little bit of a stretch on the front of the shoulders. Exhale here. And then let us come and step the left foot, so in a 90 position, 90 lunge, maintaining neutral spine. Taking again arms into the cactus and pressing the elbows back, so more emphasis on the chest opening here. Maybe even a bit of a pulsing style. And then twist to the left and just activate the rotation to the left in thoracic spine. Exhale, then return back to the center, and without moving the left foot forward, move the knee. If you find that you need to move the back knee, that's okay. So you're not lifting the left heel, just pressing forward, feeling some stretch here. The two things that could be a limitation is the ankle flexion or knee flexion. Sometimes we feel like ankle stops us, sometimes we feel knee stops us, so respect the body sensations here. And then let us just release and grab your left ankle and move it forward a bit. So now your shin are perpendicular to the floor. We want to stretch the right hip flexor. So if you're finding that you want to increase, you can tuck the toes and drop the right knee down and press forward. So opening the hip here. Exhale, hold a couple of breaths. And then move the blocks back, flex the left foot, and have this extensive stretch for the hamstring. So if you like, you can have the blocks high position and press the toes toward the face, and then let's come back into the lunge. Use the block if you need. Tuck the toes, lift the knee off the floor, adjust it, then start lifting the hands from the block. So now you're holding yourself with the strong legs and core. Bring the hands to the thighs, readjust it. Rib cage not touching the thigh, and take the arms on the side. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's release the hands on the block. Take knees together. Again, we're going to use the block on this middle height and find yourself coming. Basically, this is a child pose, but you are having the arms elevated and moving the chest down. So forcing a bit of a back bend here and extension of the shoulder, and feel the stretch It could be limited. You might not reach the floor with the forehead. That's okay. So stay where you need to stay. Exhale and then lift the forehead up. Readjust the hands. So have blocks on the sides. Readjust the hands for their downward dog. So align in the middle, finger forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and find your first downward dog. So now after the stretch in the shoulders that we just did, hopefully you feel like you're going to align the head with the shoulders. The stretch that we did performed for the calves and hamstrings, hopefully allowing you to feel a space on the back of your legs so you can lift the tailbone up and back higher. Take another exhale and then look forward and walk to the front of the mat. Set your feet hip distance here and then let's slide the hands just below the knees into the hip hinge. You can bring your hand to your lower back and make sure that you're in a neutral position as well as your neck in neutral position. Knees are facing forward and then let us come into the first chair pose. So make sure that your body weight sits on the heels. You feel engagement of the back of the legs, neutral spine here. Shoulders sit maybe aligned with the knees. Shoulders are not in front of the knees. And then press the heels up, come into the mountain pose. And let's exhale, bring the arms on the sides of the hips. Okay, so let us place the band just above the knees, where we'll continue to work on our legs today. Before we're going to go to a couple of sun salutation, let's just have again hamstring and glute work. So when you place the band around your thighs, bring the body weight to the right leg, have a right knee slightly bent and lift the left leg and just start pressing the left thigh. So don't bend the knee, don't move, don't think of a heel, move of the, think of the thigh and feel it from the glutes and go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and let's rest. Okay, so finding the body weight on the left leg, extend the right leg, keep it flexed. So it's all the alignment of the balance are here and then you lift your right leg. So again, think not of pressing the heel away and not bending the knees, but think of moving the thigh away. So from the glute, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's change and go right away into the other leg. So finding the balance and going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come into standing, shift the weight to the left, extend the right leg and go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and change. Bring the body weight to the right leg, extend the left and go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and last time, shifting to the left, extending the right leg and go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then here, come up and let us take the band away and come into standing position. You should feel how the legs are just creating your support and then let us flow. With inhale, lift the arms up. Hinging from the hips, exhale into half fold and then all the way into the passive Paschimottanasana. Then look up and step your left foot back. And here I want you to feel the same work with the left leg. It's like you're taking the thigh away from the floor. Engage the left glute and the left hamstring and then keep the front knee just for balance. When you're ready, lift your arms up. So I want you to emphasize the back leg strength. Hold, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands on the floor and step into the downward dog. Exhale, long spine. Taking the breath, flowing into plank. And in the plank, again, think of tucking the tailbone under, engage your glutes, and work your hamstrings like you want to take hamstrings away from the floor. Use your legs to help you to hold the body. Drop the knees and come all the way down. Exhale. Let's extend the arms into letter Y. And again, this is work for the legs. You lift your legs. This time it's a pointed toes, but still work from hamstrings and glutes. Maybe lifting the hair just a little bit, maybe a couple of inches. Lifting your arms a couple of inches. Hold here. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Bring the hands on the sides of the ribcage, chin to the chest. Flow into the cat and then into the downward dog. Exhale. Long spine. Look forward. Walk to the front of the mat. Bring the hands on the shins. Lift the chest halfway from the hips. Unfold all the way up. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the arms on the sides of the hips. Let's flow with the other side. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward all the way down. Lift the chest halfway and then step your right foot back. And before you even take the hands off the floor, think of taking the right side away. Engage the glutes and hamstrings and then lift the torso up. The front knee for balance, taking the arms up, holding. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands on the floor and step into plank. Again, keep working with the legs to assist to hold the hips off the floor. Of course, your arms and upper back is working here as well, but today's emphasis on the lower body. Drop the knees down to the floor. Exhale, come down. Reset the hands on the sides of the ribcage, roll the shoulders back, point the toes, lift the chest up, and then tug the toes. Exhale, come into the downward dog. Long spine. On next inhale, look forward, walk to the front of the mat. Bring the hands on the shins, lift the chest halfway, unfold all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, bring the arms on the sides of the hips. So let us again place the band just above the knees and come to the top of the mat. So we're going to be walking to the side. So yeah, you can go on the floor as well. You don't need to go on the mat, or just set yourself so you see the camera, and press the feet a little bit apart, so you may be aiming to go a little bit wider than hip distance, but not much. And make sure that if you're stepping wider, your knees are not collapsing in. So you want to have external rotation of the hips with their alignment here. Set yourself into the very small squat, and then let's step, very small step. It's maybe 2 inches, and then step. So you feel that your inner thighs and outer edges of the hip working. So make sure that you're not collapsing from side to side. So maintain the torso straight and step all the way to the edge of the mat and then back. So all the time, control your knees. Your knees are not collapsing in ever. Okay? Feel the glutes working here. but it's a different part of the glutes right now. When you reach the other side or the first side of the mat, come up into standing. Exhale, let's go one more time. So come into the squat and walk. So avoid of going with the torso from side to side. Control the knees. Everything here really very small moves. You should feel your hips. You should feel your glutes. You should feel your inner thighs. Not an easy one, even with the lightest resistance band. And exhale. So just shake your legs a little bit here and facing the front of the mat. Step the left foot back. So stretch it as much as you can. Keep your front knee 90 degrees and then let us bend the left knee down. Maintain the neutral position. Think again of pressing the left leg back. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up and change. Step the right foot back. So it's wide, but it's not as, of course, you can't go too wide because you have a resistance band. Bend the back knee. Maintain neutral position and continue to think of a back leg thigh pressing away from the front knee. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up, and this time we're going to release the band again. You probably feel your legs on fire. Come into mountain pose. Exhale. Maybe you will hold in the breath a little bit for the last position. So make sure you exhale in full, and let's flow again. Inhale. Hinging from the hips. Exhale all the way down. So you have a bit of an extra stretch for the hamstring. Release any tension. Lift the chest to halfway. Step your left foot back. Take your time to find how your back leg is pressed back. So think of the hamstring here. Lift the torso again, same position that we practiced earlier. So you have a 45-degree, ribs are off the thigh, and take your arms on the both sides of the head. So because we have the arms in front, we have a tendency to go to the front side. Please do not do that. Find the back leg is balancing here. On exhale, bring the hands on the floor. Step into downward dog. Exhale. Long spine. On inhale, flowing to plank. And then drop the knees. Come all the way down. Exhale. Get your arms in cactus pose. And this time, we're going to lift the legs. Don't try to go high. Lift the torso and lift the forearms off the floor. So I think of all the muscles along the spine that create the arch of the body here. Neck is neutral. Exhale, come down. Hands on the sides of the rib cage and press into the downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, having the right foot closer to the midline for more support. Step your left foot forward. Take your time to find your lunge and then lift the torso up. Make sure the front knee 90 degree. Have the 45 degree of the torso forward. Take your arms on both sides of the head. Hold here for 5. Think of a back leg. Pressing the thigh away from the floor. That's 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands on the floor. Step into plank. Drop the knees down to the floor. Exhale, come down. Hands on the sides of the rib cage. So traditional cobra. Lift the torso up and then just lift your toes. Maybe just inch off the floor. So just emphasizing a little bit more work for the glutes and hamstrings. But keep the upper body light. Hands are very lightly touching the floor. Exhale. Let us come into child pose. So take your knees maybe wide. Press the hips. So a great contour pose here for the glutes, for the lower back. A little bit of release. Exhale here. When you're ready, come into the downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, look forward, walk, step to the front of the mat, lift your chest halfway from the hips, exhale all the way down, fold. And then start lifting the chest and finding another chair pose, arms in front, holding here. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift yourself up, exhale, and release. Let's step the feet into the wide position, turning toes out. So we're not going to have today the weights, but we're going to go as slow as possible, okay? So let us come as slow as possible into the lunge. And then come up. So going slow, 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 bending the knees, slow, 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 to your lowest position, having the pause, and then come up. Okay, so we're counting 10, so 2 done. Slow, 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 holding, and up. Okay, coming slow, down, 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 holding, and up. So going down, holding, and up. That's 5. We have 5 more. Coming down, make sure your knees are not collapsing in. You're maintaining proper posture of the upper body. Holding, and up. Coming down, holding, and up. Coming down, and up. 2 more. Coming down, and up. Last time. Coming down, holding arms in cactus, holding 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up, exhale. Let's turn the toes in, fold forward, have a bit of the stretch here. It could be very passive, it could be more active. You can try to reach the forearms or hands to the floor, sliding the heels wide, maybe bending one knee at a time, moving the hips from side to side a little bit of a stretchy feeling. Exhale, and then lift the torso up. Set your feet parallel to the edges of the mat, lift the torso halfway, and then come all the way up. Let's right away turn the right foot out. So you're in a very wide position. Bend your right knee, and you're finding your warrior 2 here. Bring the gaze to the right middle finger. So as we hold in the front knee 90 degree, I want to still feel the back leg. So from the glute, think of pressing the outer edge of the left foot down. So emphasize support comes from the back leg. And your arms and shoulders should feel very light. You can just climb in the space around you. Let's bring the front knee straight. Drop the left hand down to the side and take the right arm up. Turn the palm toward the back. Maybe going into a little bit of a back bend if that feels right for you. Adding some stretch in the waist area. Exhale. Let's return back into the warrior 2, bending the right knee. And then bring the right elbow to the right thigh, taking the left arm overhead, looking up toward the ceiling. Think of external rotation of the left shoulder. If your left arm is not loving to be overhead, keep it up, or even you can modify that to have it on your lower back. Make sure you're not collapsing to the right elbow. Remember how we had our 45 degree, our core is working here. So just check if you maybe can release the right arm. Yes, very good. And come up, and let's turn the right foot in. left foot out. So set your hips for the warrior two on the other side. Make sure shoulder sits above the hips. Extend your arms, maintain your left knee 90 degree and feel the back leg. So again, with all the work that we did with the resistance band to activate the hamstring and glutes, think of taking the thigh away from the front knee. Press the outer edge of the right foot. Keep your lightness and the shoulders and your face. So no tension. Then bring the front knee straight. Drop the right hand down to the side. Take your left arm up, maybe a little bit above the head if that works for you. So opening and having some sensations of stretch on the front of the left rib cage. Bend the left knee again, and this time coming to extended triangle. So you're welcome to have your left elbow on the thigh, arm overhead or up on the lower back. But when you have a left elbow, make sure that you're not collapsing to the shoulder. You still feel that any time you can change this position of the left arm. So any variations here, but feel again, the anchor is your back leg, so you're not collapsing to the front leg. And come up, exhale. Let's turn toes, heels, and come into the mountain pose. Take a moment here in the mountain pose, and then bring the body weight to the left foot. Lift your right knee up, so you're aiming to lift the knee as high as possible. Maintain a neutral position. Let's take the right arm up, left arm to the side. Hold 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's release. Shake your legs, finding the balance on the right leg, lifting the left knee high. So making sure when you're lifting the knee, you're not collapsing back, you engage in the hip flexor, taking the left arm up, right arm to the side, palm up, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So shake your legs, let's come into seated position with the band. If you're finding that this band will be too tight, you can switch to the smaller band because I believe there is a little bit more light here. So we'll try to get 9. It's not going to be 90-90, especially with this big band. So get yourself into a position where you left. So let's have a left knee in front. So the left hip is in external rotation, right hip is in internal rotation. Use your left hand. If you're finding you need a block, maybe a block will help you to create a little bit more length on the left side. So you're facing front, right? So you're facing front, feet are flexed, and let us play with this right knee. So we're trying to get the knee back. So from internal rotation, with this resistance, we're trying to get the hip into external rotation. And you're trying to maintain the torso as much intact, facing front as possible. So you're not moving the knee off the floor and the torso back. With this band, it will be very limited. You feel your inner thigh. And let's go for 5 more. I'm pretty sure you already did 5. Make sure the back foot is flexed too. So when you lift, your toe comes off the floor. So you're rotating. Think that the heel is the point that you're rotating over. One more time. And let's release the legs. Shake them here, and we're going to build the other side. That might be more limited because of the left hip limitation. So get yourself here. I feel like block is helping you to maintain my right side straight. My right knee loves to come off the floor, so I'm controlling my right knee with a hand, and then let us work with the left knee. So trying to open the left hip into external rotation with a resistance. So some work for the inner thigh, some work for the ligaments of the left hip. So here we're working on stability of the left hip. So strengthening the ligaments and muscles for the hip. And stability of the hip is essential for maintaining our balance as we age, right? So we're losing the balance and falls happening because of the ankle, but a lot because of a hip weakness and core weakness. So here, everything on this lower part working. One more time. And release. Okay, so let us release the legs. So keep the band here. I will come into the bridge in Baddha Konasana. So you can watch me. So I have my feet together. So I open my hips and I'm coming into the bridge position with the heels like if I would be here in the bridge with the shins perpendicular to the floor, that's where my feet are. So it's not away, it's close. And we're gonna come into the bridge here. So when you come to the bridge, you will feel the temptation to bring the knees together, and that's what you will resist. You will work with your inner thighs, but also the different part of the glutes will work. So when you're ready, so press the knees as wide as possible and try to keep them there. Let's lift the hips up, hold, come down. 1. Lift, control the knees, come down. 2. Lift. 3. 4. 5. We have 5 more. Make sure that glutes are working when you're on the high position. 3 more. 2. And 1. And come down. So keep your knees where they are. Slide your feet a little bit away, maybe from 2 to 3 inches. Maintain your knees wide. Let's do another 10. A little bit different work. Here you will feel big hamstrings. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Let us just bring knees together. If you feel you want to bring the knees to your chest, go ahead. Rock from side to side, and then bring the feet in the bridge position close together to the midline. Bring your arms on the sides of the hips. Lift the hips off the floor, and this time lift the right leg and try to bring the right leg toward the chest. Hold here. 4, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down, rest. The other side, so feet stays together, shins are perpendicular to the floor. When you're ready, lift your hip, then lift your left leg, flex the foot, and try to press the leg toward the chest. Hold, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. So let us take the band away. Bring your knees to your chest, rock from side to side. Let's bring the soles of the feet together and pressing the elbows to the knees. Open the inner thigh, creating stretch for the inner thigh, but also you feel a lot of a stretch in the glutes here. Make sure you're holding the lower back as neutral as possible, so without lifting the tailbone off the floor. Shoulders are relaxed as well, so try not to engage the traps here to have the shrugged shoulders. If you find that you want to rock from side to side, that could be also a great stretch for the lower back. And then bring your left foot down to the floor and extend the right leg. If you like, you can use the band that handy for you. Bring it around the right foot and use it like a strap. So you can, you're able to pull the foot toward the chest a little bit, but when you pull, you're again controlling your lower back. So you would like to have your knees straight, so the effective hamstring stretch is happening when the foot is flexed, knees straight, and your pelvis in neutral position, not into flex position. If you feel that you're pulling the leg, make sure again you're not doing this with your trapezius. Use a little bit of a bicep, so shoulder blades are grounded to the floor. Keep knees straight, even if it means that you need to release the leg. Knee have to be absolutely straight, even if you're releasing the leg. Okay, so if we're using the band, I believe we're all using the band. Bring the band into the right hand and extend your left leg, flex the left foot, and then allow yourself to take the right leg to the right. Keep the foot flexed and keep your left shoulder and left hip grounded. So inner thigh stretch, external rotation of the hip. Hold it here. And then return the leg up. Bring the band into the left hand. Bring the right arm into T. And just lead the right leg somewhere to the left. It could be slightly bent. It could be straight knee. Whatever feels right for you. So the straight knee is not as critical here as you still feel stretch in the glute area. Exhale. And let's release the right leg. Let's release both legs on the floor. Reset your pelvis and shoulders, and then we'll have this stretch on the left leg. So take your left leg up, flex the foot, extend the right leg, and just very gently pull the toe toward the face. Think of pressing the heel up toward the ceiling rather than pulling toe toward the face. Then when you're ready, bring the right arm to the floor for anchoring and open the left leg to the side. Avoid the rotation of the right hip off the floor. Keep the hips flexed here. Keep the left shoulder relaxed. Inner thigh stretch. And then let's bring the left leg up and go opposite. So Here, your right knee might be slightly soft and your left arm is anchoring you on the floor. You can turn the head to the left. A very gentle twist. So we didn't do much of a twist today. We just warmed up a little bit the spine for the general movement. The most focused was today on the legs, especially on the posterior muscles of the legs. So be very mindful to your twist here. And unfold back, release the band, and let us reset the hips. And then take your legs up and shake them. So just really try to relax all those muscles that we worked on them. Feel the legs are light. You definitely can add the arms as it's also activate the lymphatic system in arms. Shake, shake, shake. And then release the legs, extend the legs wide. Take a moment here to scan the back of your body, especially of the lower part of the body. And if you feel that there's still tension in glutes and hamstrings, try mindfully to release it. Send your breath to those muscles and let them become soft. Release the whole back of the body to the mat and then allow the front of the body to follow. You might feel a little bit of a fire of the back of your body, especially for the lower part. The lower limbs, maybe not so much along the spine, but we also activated the muscles in some extension, spinal extension. So keep everything relaxed and just allow yourself another moment of not doing and not thinking and not making decisions and not planning anything. Just to follow the breath in and out through the nostrils, keeping your mind calm. Maybe this is the most challenging part of the practice. To return back to movement, start with a small wiggling the toes and fingers. Maybe take the arms overhead, allow yourself to stretch the whole body on inhale and exhale, relax. When you're ready, bend your knees and drop them to one side, roll the whole body on one side, and then help yourself to come into seated position. Get the cross-legged. Bring your hands to the knees and allow yourself to lengthen. Bring your hands in front of the heart. Thank yourself for being able to follow. Pretty challenging practice today, but hopefully during the day you would feel your legs and feel more stable, more grounded through your activities. I wish you beautiful end of the practice, beautiful day and a weekend. Namaste.